Well, it wouldn't be EA Play if we didn't get into a few different things. Alex Golden Boy Mendez is going to be hitting the football pitch with FIFA 20, and we'll be digging into that reveal trailer that dropped this morning with some very special guests that will tell you more about the newest way to play FIFA, Volta Football.
What's going on, FIFA fans? I'm Golden Boy coming to you live from the Volta pitch here at EA Play. Now, I had a blast actually hosting a FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cup a few weeks back, but that was FIFA 19. And today we're here to talk about FIFA 20. Now, if you caught the brand new trailer that dropped this morning, you already know that Volta Football is a new way to play, returning football to the street. FIFA to the streets. You like that? All right, now, for those of you who missed it, let's take a look. Hit me a pass. Huh. Nice. Now, in a bit, I'm going to be chatting with Sam Rivera, the lead producer at FIFA 20, about some of the new gameplay features that are going to be coming to FIFA 20. But first, we go across the pond. Last week, singer, songwriter, and Fulham footballer Chelsea Grimes caught up with some special guests to give us the details on Volta Football and the culture that inspired it. Check it out.
Volta producer Jeff Antwi and Manchester United and England legend Rio Ferdinand to talk about a subject close to my heart, street football. Okay, so Rio, we're here in London, your hometown. Cage football, street football. What was your memories and experiences growing up? Did you play a lot of it?
No, this was where I grew up. This is exactly what I've done day in, day out. In there, the ball never goes out of play. Physically, it's demanding. You're forced to almost have a personality and show a personality in there. Do you know what I mean?
There's definitely no hiding in there, is there?
You can't hide in there.
So I used to play in the street with all the boys, and it was kind of the same. You know, we'd learn how to bounce it off the curb and use the walls on people's houses as another player. What was it for you that made you want to bring it even into the game?
For us, it's a return to street football for the FIFA franchise, and we're really excited about being able to, be in places like this, where it's rooted in the real people, the real places. Authenticity, creativity, culture are all things that we wanted to bring to Volta.
Look at that guy's footwork.
Yeah, the footwork's it's amazing. That's what you can do in Volta, though. So that's part of the detail in the gameplay.
So you can do all these mad tricks like this.
Well, just being able to be really skillful with the ball at your feet. Whether it's a classic futsal drag, or being able to play it off the wall to yourself to beat your opponent, or flick it up over your head to create space for an on goal.
Can you use that with the players from the professional teams?
Absolutely. So obviously with it being FIFA, we want to make sure that authenticity is at the forefront. And so you can play with or against the real players, all the licensed players that we have, all the licensed clubs. You can imagine playing Chelsea versus Spurs in this London cage.
Man United versus Liverpool.
Man United versus Liverpool.
It's physical and technical, it's mad. I've played on loads of different places. Where is there to play on the game?
So obviously with Volta, it's the world's game, and there's so many locations that you can play with, from a rooftop in Tokyo to a London cage like this, or even an underpass in Amsterdam. So, we want to make sure that what we're building is, real to the space, real to the people.
Well, where's the craziest place you play football?
I was actually in a camp in LA, and I played a bit of soccer there, I've never played it there before. The pitches are a lot nicer than when I grew up playing in Liverpool. What about you, Rio?
Maybe in a favela in Brazil. I went to the World Cup in Brazil. My first one I did as a pundit. I managed to go into the favelas and have a little look. It was crazy, man. And amongst that was just like a pitch in the middle of it, in a cage. A bit like here, but it's just different setting.
Right. What type of football were you playing?
We played whoever was there. So you just play with the numbers you've got. If there was 3v3, fine. If it was 5-a-sides, not a problem.
Yeah.
So
what's great is that's Volta. Being able to play 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, playing with goalkeepers, playing without goalkeepers, playing in a cage like this, or playing futsal, with more authentic rules. I think Volta does a really good job of representing the diversity of the game, not only the people, but also in the game style. You can treat the wall like your teammate, passing to yourself, or you can be really skillful with the ball, like these guys are being. Volta football is such a diverse game, and for millions of people around the world, streets is their stadium. So for you guys, what are some of the fundamental things that you take away from the streets, and what translates to the stadiums?
Small-sided games, 3 versus 3, 5-a-sides. I grew up in this environment. I think it enables you definitely to be able to deal with people 1v1, because in a game in a stadium, in front of thousands and thousands of people, you're going to have to deal with someone 1v1 like this, with bigger spaces. So getting used to that in this type of environment is, I think, for a young player, is key.
Having a personality, not being afraid to try something new here. And obviously, eventually you can go and put it onto the big stage. So I think this is you go and express yourself.
I think definitely that key word, express. If you can express yourself, you see the best in everyone. I think individually, as a team.
Street football is, for a lot of people, it's foundational. And it translates to, the stadiums. And for Volta, that's kind of how we built the gameplay experience. And so we're really excited about what we can, represent, and being able to represent the flair and the style that you guys just talked about.
I think a lot of people as well used to always associate skills and flair without the end product. I think that's what's great about this game, is that end product's always king.
What I really really, really want to know is, can you create female players?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest innovations. You can play male or female, and they play with each other as well, and that's an important part of what we're building.
When you go and play in there, not everyone turns up in a pair of shorts, boots. Can we have like jeans, like cut downs that I've got, or?
You can have, t-shirts and shorts, or you can have jeans and long sleeves. Again, a big thing for us is, being able to establish the culture that is street football through clothing, through how you look, your personal style. You can have short hair, long hair. You can have tattoos, no tattoos. You can play with trainers.
Okay.
A lot of the time as well is like, it's not only you want to look good, you want to feel good, play good.
Yeah.
In some of it's superstition, like it's all of that all in one. If you can get that into a game and transfer that and translate that into the cage, you got it made.
That's a big part of Volta football, just being able to represent the people as they are. We want it to be authentic, we want it to be diverse, we want it to be cultural and creative, and a lot of that is, how you equip yourself and how you carry yourself and how you represent yourself in the game.
Jeff, thank you so much. Rio, it's been a pleasure. I can't wait to play Volta, so I'll see you in the cage.
Well, there you have it. Volta football, pretty cool stuff there. Now, I can't wait to get my hands on it later this summer, but to talk to us about the exciting new gameplay updates and innovations that are going to be coming to FIFA 20, we have FIFA lead gameplay producer Sam Rivera here standing by. Sam, welcome.
Thanks, Alex. It's great to
Let's
be
give
here.
it up. Give it up for Sam.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. All right, all right. Pleasure to have you here, my friend. Now, here's the deal. I knew this coming into this. When they asked me to do this gig, I was like, listen, this is going to be a tricky one, right? Because FIFA has a very passionate community. I know this. I experienced this firsthand when I hosted that FUT Champions Cup. And you and I, we talked a lot about how important it's been for you to engage with the audience, with the fans, with the community on FIFA 20's development. So why don't we dive into that? Tell me about that process and how the community played a role in making this game a reality for you all.
Absolutely. Community feedback is a big deal for us. The combination of community feedback and football itself is what inspires us every year to keep innovating and to create the most authentic and fun experience we can. And we know we have a big community, so this year we actually talked to over 3,000 players, from pro players to new players, casual players, hardcore players. And because we know this is a two-way conversation, we released an important Pitch Notes article at the end of May, where we explain a little bit more about how we approach community feedback. So we listen to things like shooting inconsistencies or AI defending, and this feedback, together with our drive to create a more authentic football experience, led us to develop a new feature set that comes together as football intelligence.
Okay, all right, so catchphrases are all well and good,
Yeah.
right? But let's dive into this, right? Because I want to be able to dive deeper into what all this means for the player. What does football intelligence mean for the folks that are going to be playing in a few months?
Sure, football intelligence is a combination of features that improve the three main components of the match: on the ball, off the ball, and the ball itself. And this year we're innovating in those three areas. On the ball, we're enhancing the one-on-one moments by giving you new attacking and defending tools. Off the ball, with a re-architected game flow, we're giving players more time and space on the ball. And for the ball itself, we have a brand new ball physics system that elevates the authenticity on every touch.
Okay, so you mentioned off the ball first. That's something that, I'm assuming you're talking about computer control players there. And this is a big topic within the community.
I know.
How those players interact with you when you're playing the game. So, yeah, I mean, what is off the ball? What does that mean for us?
Yes, so off the ball, if there's something that is really going to change how the game plays, is the re-architected game flow. This new game flow was designed to give more time and space to the dribbler and create more one-on-ones. A one-on-one is one of the most interesting parts of football to watch or to play if you actually play the sport. And in FIFA, it's going to be the time where user skill is going to make a difference. And while we're creating more one-on-ones, we're also encouraging more user-control defending, and we are reducing the amount of AI defensive support that you get from your teammates.
Okay, all right. So you really want to influence the player to be engaged in that process. And I know it seems like we're kind of just throwing questions out here, but because I'm curious, I'm really interested, right? When I have a controller in my hand, what does this feel like? What extra space is being created with this more player-controlled approach?
Yes, first of all, the re-architected game flow allows us to encourage smart technical build-up based on skill. So when you score a goal, you feel like you really worked for it. And because you mentioned space, yes, spacing is actually one of the biggest benefits of this system. You will see how your teammates spread around the pitch in a more authentic way, allowing you to read the game better and also giving you new ways for you to create your own scoring chances. And visually, just the game looks much more like real football.
Yeah. So my AA teammates are going to be way more helpful for me because Lord knows I need that. All right. Which I think a lot of us feel the struggle there. But now, what about the player, me? Right. As I'm playing this game, what new tools do I have that I can put out there on the pitch?
Yes, so football is all about the decisive moments on the ball. And now that we're encouraging those moments, we're also giving players the tools to make sure those moments are in their control.
Okay.
So there's 4 features that I want to talk about. Composed finishing, strafe dribbling, control tackling, and the new penalty kicks and free kicks.
All right, so 4 big topics.
Yeah.
Let's just dive into this. Composed finishing, what do you mean by that?
Sure. We received feedback from the community regarding the difficulty to finish in front of goal.
Okay.
So in FIFA 20, with the new composed finishing, you're going to experience more clinical and consistent shooting when you're in a one-on-one with the keeper, for example. And if you try a more difficult shot, let's say a volley from outside of the box, then you're going to have more chances to miss. So overall, we are improving the fundamentals of shooting to provide a more authentic experience. And we also listen to feedback about time finishing. And we are very confident that the changes that I just mentioned to the fundamentals of shooting, in addition to some tweaks that we're doing to the actual time finishing mechanic, are going to give you a more satisfying shooting experience, whether you time your shot or not. We are actually just releasing another Pitch Notes article about this topic. If you want to know more information, you can check it online.
Okay, so a whole topic just on this alone, which is very dedicated there. Now, you also mentioned another attacking tool, which was strafe dribbling. Yeah. So how is this now going to play a role in how I play out there?
Yeah, good question. So we are reinventing the strafe dribbling mechanic.
Okay.
This tool adds more dimension in attack, giving you more control, more precise and agile control of the ball when dribbling. And I would say this tool is great to lure your opponent in, and then when he's getting closer, use your player's agility, speed, and skill to beat that defender.
So if it wasn't any indication, though, I'm going to be on defense quite a bit. So
we'll see.
Because of that, as a defender now, we're continuing to just run through these tools, these new gameplay additions that are coming to it. What about on the defensive front?
Yes, to counter the attacking tools, we also need to bring some innovation into defending. The new control tackling system, which uses the sophistication from the active touch system from last year, is going to improve your player's tackling ability to ensure you win possession back more often than ever when you tackle in the right context.
Okay, and then the most intense, nerve-wracking moment in any game of FIFA, me and my boy Rob, we went, this is an everyday thing for us. Penalty kicks.
Yes.
What changes are you making to penalty kicks?
We have brand new penalty kicks and free kick systems.
Okay.
So first of all, the aiming mechanics are completely different and more accessible. But obviously, we're keeping some elements of skill in there to make sure there's enough depth in the mechanics for those that want to be masters on those systems. And for example, in free kicks, you're going to have full control of the spin that you apply to the ball. And that's going to create your trajectory. So you can do side spin, top spin, no spin, or a combination of them. And that's going to be based on how you swing your right stick. And then you will see the trajectory. So you can go around the wall, you can go over the wall, you can do a knuckle shot, for example. Ultimately, these systems are more, they're more fun, but you have more control, so that you feel like it's more rewarding. And you swing your right stick, and then you see the trajectory being created, and that's the cool part.
So, for like us FPS gamers out there, maybe that's something that I can actually be good at, like
exactly
hit with the right stick. That's awesome. All right, so on the ball, talked off the ball, but the ball. That is the most essential part of the beautiful game. So what's new with the ball?
We have a brand new ball physics system. And the ball is at the center of every match. And the innovation that we're bringing to the ball this year just gives you a more authentic experience in general.
Yeah.
So we rewrote how the ball behaves on every player contact, on every bounce, on every interaction, and how spin affects the trajectory of a shot, pass, or cross. So what you will see is more realistic player deflections, more realistic bounces. And if you do a shot, let's say a finesse shot, you will see maybe more curve. If you do a lace shot, you will see a dipping trajectory, a rising trajectory. There's more variety in general. So the entire FIFA experience feels fresh because of this new ball physics system.
Trying to get that ball to bounce in fun ways is going to create some interesting moments, especially for a lot of our top players out there. Now, I know that a lot of fans, I'm sure, are going to be very excited to try out these new features. And since you have the eyes and ears of a ton of FIFA fans right now, floor is yours. Anything else you want to say to this community?
Yes, so the features that I just talked about are very important, but there are many other changes that we're doing in FIFA 20, and a lot of them are based on community feedback. One of them is pace. We know that sometimes slower defenders can catch up with faster dribblers, so we're tweaking pace in FIFA 20. It doesn't mean that the entire game is going to be based on player speed, but it just means that player physical attributes are going to be slightly more important. We're doing something very similar for strength. And finally, for those players that have mastered the skill moves, we're obviously tuning some of them. Let's say La Croqueta, we're adding new ones. Or if you would like to chain multiple skill moves in a row, then you will get a more realistic outcome. We're working on those.
So you're telling me that Tex can't bust out 3 elasticals at the same time?
We'll see, but you will see new behaviors there.
Tex will still find a way. Tex will still find a way. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Now, when can players get their hands on FIFA 20?
So it's going to be September 27th.
Okay.
And there's some good news. If you have EA Access, you're subscribed to EA Access, you can get hands-on September 19th.
Wow. Okay. And then, of course, EA Access coming to PS4.
Exactly. That's good news. So PS4 fans will also be able to play FIFA September 19th.
All right. Look at that there. And, of course, all those details can be found online, so don't forget about that. It is a hot day out here. We've been talking FIFA. I've been having a blast. Sam, thank you so much, man. Guys, give it up for Sam Rivera once again.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Now, don't forget, if you're in LA, come down to EA Play, try out FIFA 20 for yourself, or come watch some great street football competition at our custom Volta pitch. Keep an eye out because the FIFA team has a lot more to come between now and September. They'll be posting deep dives on the Pitch Notes platform, and you get more info on gameplay, career mode, pro clubs, Volta, and because we all know you want to talk about it, FIFA Ultimate Team. So keep an eye out for those. I'm Golden Boy. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.